Hey there everybody, it's Tara with Healing Adventures, where we inspire, motivate, and activate your truth, your passion, and your mission on this planet. Thank you for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and you like what we talk about, be sure to subscribe at the end of this video. But I really want to say thank you to all of you who have joined us today, because today what we will be talking about is how to become fearless with quantum healing hypnosis, or really any form of hypnosis. I had recently put a post out there asking all of you, what kinds of topics did you want me to discuss on this channel? Somebody had actually reached out to me, and thank you, whoever you were, thank you so much for letting me know. They wanted to know, how does quantum healing hypnosis, or how does beyond quantum healing hypnosis actually support those of us who do it? And they specifically asked me, how did it help me? And really, what were my experiences of doing it? So this video today is going to be about how to become fearless with using hypnosis. So I don't want to say I'm 100% fearless. I don't know that any of us will ever be. Fear is always, there's some form of fear around, but you can also be courageous in the face of fear, right? And you can also step into a space where fear is not dictating your choice, where you're literally acknowledging it, breathing through it, and letting it go. Because as we all know, fear is false events appearing real. It's an illusion. It's not even the truth. And how that fear gets built over time is typically through our upbringing, through culture, through media. It's thought forms, it's lack, it's lack of something, whether it's lack of courage, lack of love, lack of safety, lack of money, whatever it is that you feel you're lack of or in lack of will create some form of fear. That's one way to look at it. So I'm going to talk about how quantum healing hypnosis, and I also want to make sure I reference that not only do we do quantum healing hypnosis here, we also do a form called Beyond Quantum Healing Hypnosis. I've also been certified in introspective hypnosis, which is another form of accessing the quantum realm, as well as Beyond Quantum Healing Hypnosis, which allows for me to use different modalities on an individual so that we're making sure that we're just tapping into whatever we need to do in order to heal the person that's here. And I don't even want to say heal. Let's say provide them access to heal whatever it is that they're looking to heal. My experience, and thank you to the person who asked, I've had an extraordinary journey through the quantum healing experience. I've had a total of 5 sessions of my own so far, and I want to say that fear is actually the biggest one that I've had the most breakthrough with. So I want to stay on topic today and really focus on how I utilized quantum healing hypnosis and beyond quantum healing hypnosis to support me in the areas of fear. Some of the areas that were most important to me at the time that I began doing this work was, how was I going to leave the corporate space and begin my journey as a entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur by spirit. I have had businesses in the past. I have had my own coaching practice in the past. And I knew at this time that it was becoming a deep calling of mine to go back into that space. Yet I was living pretty deeply entrenched in the corporate arena. So when I chose to do the quantum healing hypnosis process, one of the areas I looked at was the area of my career. And I would imagine that there are many of you out there, especially when we look at the area of our career, we are locked into so many, I'll use the term programs. And by programs, I mean a thought process or a thought form that's running in your mind that has you sticking to a particular action or sticking to a particular structure, because you think if you go outside of that structure that everything will fall apart, or things won't go right, or things will go awry. So I had it in my mind that there was no way in hell that I could step away from my job at the time, because I am a single parent. I'm full-time supporting my child, my son, and how on earth was I going to go build this practice and continue living the level of comfort of which we were living. There was also a lot of fears around, well, what does it mean to be an entrepreneur? What does it mean to open your own practice? There was a lot of programs and conversations around lack of money, unworthiness, not going to be able to do it, not going to be able to achieve. How will I do it in this amount of time? I just had all of these fears, concerns, all kinds of stuff just bombarding me in my mind. And what that initially would do is it would stop me from actually taking the steps necessary to go out on a limb and begin my journey opening my practice again. And often in the past, I would allow those fears to just stop and stifle me. I wouldn't even go beyond them because it would be too terrifying. Like literally it would be like suffocating, like, oh my God, I cannot do this. I'm just not even gonna do this. Because there was so much fear around failing and not being able to succeed and not being able to take care of my son. So when I did my first quantum healing hypnosis session, and knowing that I wanted to go in this arena, I figured, well, if I'm going to go into this arena because I love it and I'm so passionate about it, I might want to go have my own session. So I went and had my own session. And it was extraordinary because in that very first session, I actually got to face two of my strongest fears. Those two fears, one was being separated from my son, God forbid something happened to me or to him, and I would never forgive myself. And that might just be a natural fear for many parents. For me, it was one of these things that would cripple me at times. Literally, I would design my entire life to make sure that I wasn't too far. The second one was going out on a limb and really stepping into this space that I'm so passionate about, that I knew was calling me, because honestly, I was struggling emotionally and mentally inside of my body while inside the corporate space. And I can now look back hindsight, that was because there was an aspect of my life that was missing. And that piece that was missing was speaking my truth, my passion, and doing and fulfilling on my mission here on this planet. Like that was a complete missing in my life. My life was tunnel vision of my corporate job and then being a parent. It was just tunnel vision. That was all it was. That's all I had. There was no balance of the things that I really needed. And I was terrified to actually take it on. So in the first session that I had, if many of you are familiar with quantum healing hypnosis, and if you're not, I'm happy to go into that a little bit more, and you can go back to some of the videos that I have posted on my page and learn more about it. But it's a form of past life regression. It's also a form of future life, so you can progress as well as regress. I personally have regressed in all 5 of my sessions. I have not had any progressions. Not to say it doesn't happen, because I've had clients that have been here that have definitely gone into the future, and they've seen future lives, they've seen their own lives. It's amazing. So with that said, I typically progress. So in this particular session, as I mentioned, I've had 5. This was my very first one. I've done 3 quantum healing hypnosis, 1 beyond quantum healing hypnosis, and 1 full introspective hypnosis. All of them tapping into the higher self, all of them accessing that quantum realm. Quantum realm, quick synopsis of that, or quick idea of what that is. Quantum realm are these multidimensional layers that are basically all around us. We're living in the past, the present, and the future as we speak. And so we're accessing those energetic layers through this process. And we're able to download that information and experience those lifetimes. So in the 2 lifetimes that I was able to see, one of them specifically with my son was a lifetime where and I won't go into deep detail, but I had been killed in that lifetime. He was my oldest son. What I also gathered from that lifetime through the progression process was that he was a protector for me in that lifetime. That was the role he took on. He took that role on. It was during settler times. We had crossed the country in wagons. It was a very rough time in terms of life. It was a very rugged and rough life overall for me. My soul was quite exhausted in that lifetime. So when I got shot by the Indians, I was actually very grateful and like, thank you, God, take me now, because I'm done with this place. But the moment where the Indians had invaded the town that we were living in, they were now using guns. I was very shocked and surprised, and when I stepped down onto the porch to see what was happening, because there was a big raid happening in the city, or in the town, in the village really, we were just a small town, I had gotten shot. And in that moment, my son in that lifetime, who is my son today, the energy that I could feel of the sorrow, the sadness, the disparity, the panic, the heartbreak of him not being able to protect me. And in that moment, me experiencing the heartbreak of leaving him. I was leaving him. Now, as the soul, my soul was transitioning out of that body and I was going back home, as I like to call it. When I arrived home to speak with my higher guides or my council of light, I began to feel this longing and this pain that was transferring between his soul and my soul. There was this energetic experience of guilt, of sadness, of just pure despair, like just despair. Like I was feeling what he was feeling on that earth plane. And in my mind, I knew that I had left him behind. But I also knew that that was part of the journey and that I would be seeing him again. In that moment, that aha moment of seeing that, feeling that, viscerally feeling it in my body, there was a big release for me emotionally with tears and a lot of crying. And I knew in that moment that I no longer had to hold on to that pain and that guilt and that suffering, because that was from that lifetime. It didn't serve me to have it in this lifetime. I was here with him again. Now I've come in as his protector in this lifetime. That is a role that I have now taken on with him. And there is no need for me to harbor or hold on to any of that fear, that guilt, that sadness. And literally when I walked out of that appointment, I felt this layer of release just shedded off of me. And I will say, since that session, I do not have the fears that I had. I do not feel I have to design my entire life to make sure that nothing happens to him or to I. And I literally was living like that. I didn't want to travel. I didn't want to be far away. What if something happens? What if something happens? What if something happens? There was always that running in the background. So I don't have that. Not to say I don't worry. Not to say that I don't think about these things. But if I have to travel, or if him and I are apart, there's a freedom that I have. There's an ease that I have. I don't spend every waking moment worrying about him. And I literally was doing that for years, okay? Like 5.5, 6 years, okay? And he's 7. So that just gives you a sense of, it was weighing on my heart. Now, in terms of the area of my career, in that same session, there was a lifetime around me really understanding and learning to let go of the fears that stopped me from being my fullest expression and from speaking with my voice. And I remember leaving that session having this, there was like a clarity in my throat. I could feel it, I could sense it. The other thing about quantum healing hypnosis, or any type of healing in the quantum realm, is you're physically feeling a visceral experience of energy work being done on your body. And you can ask anybody who's had a session, they will feel the energetic, I don't even know how to express it because it's so different for everybody, but it's a tangible, visceral experience where you will feel energy working through your body to cleanse and clear you. So they also did some, I say they as in my higher self, we pulled out some old tapes that were literally running in my subconscious, and we updated them with more of a more empowering conversation. One of them being, I can, I will. I can, I will, I do now. I can, I will, No, I can, I do, and I will now is what it was. And I could feel when they being my higher self, when there was actually, I could feel like electrical energy and currents running in my brain back here, where they were actually pulling out the old tape that was running, which was very disempowering, and upgrading it to a new, more empowering conversation. Oh, and seize the day now. So it was, I can, I will, I do. Seize the day now. And I remember when I left there, I kept hearing it, but the very next morning when I woke up, that was all that I could hear in my mind. That was all that I could hear. And that was the beginning of removing yet another layer of that fear, another layer of those disempowering conversations. And I will tell you, that was November of last year. By January, I opened up my practice, had my business license, and began that journey. And it's just been an extraordinary journey since then. So, somebody asked in the survey, how has this work, worked for you? It has worked miracles in my life, I will say that. I probably will always have sessions done. I feel that the more you can remove or acknowledge whatever that negative, disempowering conversation may be running in the background, to remove those out, and just to remove those layers out and actually put something more empowering in, it makes a whole ton of difference. And literally, when you are done with these sessions, over the course of the days, it's different for everybody, because we're all working on something very different, which can be a very deep experience for some. But you feel lighter, you feel freer when you're accessing these energetic dimensions, and you're cleansing out this, what I like to call cellular memory that no longer serves you. Then you're freeing yourself up, and you're open to all of what's available for you in this lifetime. If you want to know how this work can assist you, it assists you in removing the traumas, the blocks, the disempowering conversations, anything that stands in your way from you being your truest self, your truest expression, your purest voice. You come here for a mission. You come here with a voice. Why not express it? And if there is anything standing in your way, then by all means, have a way to remove it. It goes back to when you walk in someone's shoes and you experience their life, you get a taste of what it is. And it allows you to release any judgment you may have had, or any thoughts or negativity that you may have had. It's the same thing. When you walk in your past or future lives and you experience the situation firsthand, it allows you to understand it at a whole new level. It allows a new empathy, a new compassion, whatever is needed for you to release any judgment that you may have had, or any fear that you may have had around it. Once that's gone, it's gone. It's done. There's nothing more you need. It's over. So that's it. Fearlessness. That's one of the things that you can hope to achieve, or that you can achieve through this work. So if you liked what you heard today, please do subscribe and share. Hit the like button. I'd also love to hear your comments below. Let me know, what are the things that you are looking to accomplish through this work. I know some of you are very interested in quantum healing hypnosis. Some of you may actually be hypnosis therapists. I'd love to hear your experience, both with clients and what you've learned by having these sessions. But please do subscribe, share, and like. I look forward to seeing you guys all soon. Thank you again for responding to the survey. And for those of you that are new, check down in the description box below. You can see a link to the survey. Let me know the kinds of topics you want me to discuss on this channel. And I wish you guys all a magical day. Have a great day. Bye.